friends, and welcome to Somewhat Useful. I'm Will Myers,
And I'm Christy Price.
and on this show, we'll be discussing the topics shaping the world of digital entrepreneurship and tackling questions about Squarespace and web design. We're figuring this world out one website at a time, and hope you find this somewhat useful.
Somewhat useful.
Christy,
And our
how are
live
you?
episodes. Oh, I'm good.
It's good to see you.
I was gonna plug our live episodes.
You have some plugs. Go plug away.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, if you're listening to the podcast recording, come join us live. Every other Tuesday we go live on YouTube, and you can come and drop things in the chat.
We would love to chat with you live on the episode. And today we're going to talk about, guess what? AI. Again, a little bit. Then we'll get into what makes us miserable in our business, maybe related to AI, what makes us anxious in our business, very much related to AI, and then some things we do to avoid it.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of joy in being an entrepreneur, but sometimes it can feel kind of miserable too. And we're going to talk about that.
We're just going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it all. But first, Chrissy, you just got back from Mexico. How was your vacation?
Yeah, well, we timed it well. We were
safe, I assume.
Yeah, it was safe. We were in Cozumel and we were there for just over a week, my husband and I, and it was a great vacation. The weather was lovely. We stayed at a couple different resorts to see which we liked better for next time. So there will be a next time. We had a great time.
Good. You stayed at a couple different resorts. Were you all like taste testing different resorts?
We were. We actually stayed at 3. We stayed at 3 different places to see where we want to go back to next time.
How fun. Yeah. Are you comfortable sharing which one won out?
Oh, yeah. Sadly, it was the most expensive one. It was the Presidente Intercontinental. So it was lovely.
Sadly.
It was
funny how that works. Funny how that works out.
Sometimes you think you have inexpensive taste and then you're like, oh, but this is so much better.
But it is so much better. That's the thing. There's a reason. Well, I'm glad you made it out and you weren't involved with El Mencho. Was it El Mencho?
Yeah.
I think that was his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't die. Have you?
No.
You were telling me before the podcast and I said, okay, we got to wait because other people need to hear this story. You said there are 2 times in your life that you have thought you were going to die. And I want to hear them.
Both of them are related to Cozumel, funnily enough. There were 2 times in my life that I thought this was the end. The first time was like entirely my fault. So I was in Cozumel with my husband and some friends, but they were all off doing something else. And I'm like, I'm just going to go for a stroll at night alone.
Oh, okay.
Downtown Cozumel, walking around. And probably it feels like a very safe island. And I felt fine. And then I started walking back to the resort and I realized like I'm on a street at this point where there is no one and it's dark. And I'm like, I probably should have not come this way. And then a white van pulls up, like the ones that look like kidnapper vans.
Yeah. Yeah. Have some candy, get in the vans.
Yeah. And it's like coming up and slowing down. And I'm like, oh, this is it. This is it. Like I had a good run.
Was there anywhere you could like run? Were you like looking for exit routes?
No. I mean, like there was nothing. It was in the middle of the street and in the middle of a block. There was nothing to be done. Nobody around. And the passenger window rolls down and it's this really sweet lady who's like, are you okay? And I'm still like, my spidey sense is still like, I'm like, I'm fine, thanks. And she's like, do you need a ride? And I'm like, nope, don't need a ride.
My husband and her 4 friends are just in the woods right there. They'll be here in just a second. Yeah.
My husband's a taxi driver and her baby doesn't sleep. So we drive around. We can give you a ride back. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And then she's like, okay, be safe. And then she rolled up her window and they left. So it was a very kind interaction as it turned out. But I was convinced that was the end.
Yeah, for me. I would probably feel the same. I would probably feel the same. And your second one was Cozumel related as well?
It was on the way back from a different trip to Cozumel. So we flew in and out of Houston for that trip. And we landed in Houston. It was my husband, my daughter, and myself. We were driving back to Austin, and there was a huge tornado that came through. They're like, seek shelter.
Yeah, okay.
And we're in the middle of nowhere. And we're in this town called LaGrange, Texas. And the only thing around is a Whataburger. So we stop at the Whataburger, and it's just like the sky looks ominous. The wind is like crazy, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna meet my end at a Whataburger in
Yeah.
Lagrange. Yeah,
Anyone want anything? We can just grab something real quick and
right. So I'm like,
go
well,
to
the
the
table
grave with it.
bolted down. We'll get under the tables. Yeah.
Were other people in the Whataburger?
Yeah,
Like
I
doing the
mean, like
same thing?
everybody stopped
It's
at the
like, okay.
Whataburger, and I
Yeah,
was like, we've
fair.
got to get a table because we've got to get something to get under.
Right.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah.
Well,
So
I'm glad you made it back from this trip to Mexico.
thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
glad you made it back. We did a trip a few weeks ago. And during that trip, all I could think about was OpenClaw and AI. During that vacation.
Right.
Yeah, it was like
Because Will, you cannot turn your brain off.
I can't turn my brain off.
Yeah.
Can't turn it off. Have you heard of OpenClaw or like been curious about it or what? I'm curious what you're.
I'm really curious about it. So I did hear about it and I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this out. And I opened it up and the permissions terrified me because it's like, grant me access to everything. We'll hope it goes okay. You know,
you don't know.
I'm just like, nope, I noped out of it. But it sounds like you're like, sure.
Yeah. Well, so to be clear, let me rewind a little bit. If you have not heard of OpenClaw, it is a open source code base that allows you to run AI deep in your computer. So basically anything you can do on a computer, it can do. So instead of using like the chatgpt.com chatbot, you use something right on your computer and it can write files for you. It can read your email. It can read your calendar. It's anything that's on your computer, it can do. And this was very interesting to me. So I wanted to download it and play around with it. Security implications are huge. Like you can only imagine like letting an LLM run loose on your computer, all the security issues around that. So Ren actually just got another computer. So I used hers, fully wiped her old one, like nothing on there, started it from scratch and downloaded it on there and worked through there. And it was pretty interesting. Honestly, immediately, my first feeling, it took me about 2 or so hours to set it up. And my first 24 hours, 48 hours was like a lot of excitement filled with a lot of dread because it really is.
Was it just amazing? Or was it how is it exciting and how is it dreadful?
So it was exciting to me because this does feel like sort of the beginning of the next phase of computing. Like this is the next thing. These LLMs that can kind of run amok on your computer and do whatever you want. Like right now, we're just sort of shoehorning AI and LLMs into the tools we already have. This feels like the beginning of that next iteration. So that's exciting to me. It almost is like I would akin it to when user interfaces, Mac came out with the GUI for Macintosh, where everyone was on, terminal lines, DOS, and all that stuff. And Mac came out with the user interface. It feels like that level of like, okay, this is foundation stuff can build on top of, but it is after using it, I was like, wow, I prompted it to go to Squarespace in the browser because it could create a new website and then add some blogs to it. And I gave it the URL of our Somewhat Useful podcast. And it went to that URL, downloaded the podcast, went over to Squarespace. And it took a while and it was horrible, but you could see the beginnings, like the seeds of this new technology and how it would operate. So that was a little terrifying. Now I've lived with it for a couple weeks. And I feel way less bad about it, honestly, because there's so many little bugs. There's like the security implications are huge. Like I cannot overstate how bad you can screw up like security for yourself or just ruin a lot of things if you give it access to just everything on your computer. So I think there's going to be a much longer learning and adoption curve than people think, because the hardware is going to have to catch up to this stuff. This isn't stuff you can sort of write software for. Like the hardware, it's going to have to be baked into these systems. But it's it's really interesting. It's really, really interesting, and it's really fun to play around with. And now that I'm
So
not as anxious about it, I feel better.
so for mere mortals like me,
Mm, yes.
what would be a use case for me? Like if I'm like,
So
"Oh, I'm gonna download this today."
this, I would strongly advise people not to download it like right now, to
Right
be
now.
honest. There's a
Got it.
lot
Okay.
there's a lot of security permissions that you can easily screw up if you don't know
Yeah.
the difference between like a local host and your like different ports. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff you can screw up and make yourself vulnerable. Um, but one thing that I've done is I've given it read access, not write
Mhm.
access, but read access to all of my emails. So it can read my emails every morning and write draft responses to any that it thinks I should need. And then it'll
Ooh,
text me sort of an overview of everything that's in my inbox. So
interesting.
it's there are some interesting use cases, and once the
Mhm.
security gets there, there will be a lot more. But it's been fun. It's been fun to play around
So
with.
so what do you think? Let's get out our crystal ball.
Mhm.
What do you think this means for Squarespace designers and developers a year from now?
Um, that's so this is like the big question. I it like Squarespace needs to adopt more content APIs. They have to do
Mhm.
it. And I think they will really struggle as a platform if they don't have an ability for an LLM or an AI to
Yeah.
create content on a website via an API.
Mhm.
Um, because using it to bulk update a bunch of blog posts, if you're building a website, a lot of time, a
Yeah.
huge pain point is like you don't have the copy for the client. So it's hard to put stuff
Yep.
together. Using an LLM to bulk create demo content would be
Mhm.
huge, saves hours. And if
Mhm.
Squarespace doesn't have these tools built in, I think that's going to be really hard for designers not to be looking elsewhere. So
Mhm.
I really think those bulk creation tools are going to be really good. And there's two worlds a year from now. One, this could go the way of the WYSIWYG editor. The what you
Yeah.
see is what you get. And
So it's gonna be a great thing for us.
so that would be a great thing. Like there were
Uh-huh.
more, everyone was singing gloom and doom when the WYSIWYG
Mhm.
came out, but there
Mhm.
are more websites now, more business now because of that. Or it
Yeah.
could go the way of the typist, where
Mhm.
there's no typists anymore. You just
Yeah.
that's not a job that's available anymore. I strongly think it's gonna go the way of the WYSIWYG editor because
Fingers
typist
crossed.
is I know, because there's no opinion in typing. That's just you
Right.
just type, and it's either typed or it's not. Websites, there's a
Mhm.
lot more opinion in it. So I think there's a
Mhm.
lot more room for people to create businesses there. So I
Yeah.
my gut would say there's gonna be more business, um, but there's so much change. Like the workflows we use today will not be the workflows we use a year from now. So you got to
Yeah.
be able to adjust.
It's gonna be interesting. And, well,
Anyways,
speaking of Squarespace
speaking
and
of,
features, we've got some new releases.
we do. We have a lot of new releases coming out.
Well, and a
The
couple of buggy things.
and a couple buggy things and a little
Yeah.
Squarespace announcement. Why don't you start us off?
Yes. So in the latest, well, actually in last week's release notes, we had a little note that when duplicating a site from your account dashboard, the new site now appears at the top of your site list, which when they originally rolled out site duplication, that's how it worked. So I'm like, I'm not sure this is a feature. I think it's a bug
Hmm,
fix. And then I
yeah.
went in and I duplicate sites all the time because I'm duplicating templates. And
Yep.
so I did that and it was not at the top. I had to wait for the email and go check my email and then go back to Squarespace. And so I sent a little message to support and I'm like,
So sorry.
hey, this feature is not working. And they're like, yeah, let me escalate that for you. I see what you're saying. And then I got the email back after it was escalated and it's like, um, I talked to the engineers and this is how it's supposed to work. And I'm like, no, 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 no,
That's
no,
not
no.
what your report says right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feature. Yeah,
So I'm still waiting to hear back on this. We'll see.
we'll see.
But we can all cross our fingers that one day, yet again, duplicated sites will appear at the top.
Like,
And
there's so
then,
many things that I haven't even thought that like, oh, that's a bug. Like, of course that's a bug. A duplicated site should probably appear at the top. But I
Mhm.
immediately, like, my workflow is just duplicate the site and then search for the site name again, just because I know it's never going to
Yeah.
be there. That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
The other bug that we've seen with that's back, this one drives me crazy, is when you're in a text block and you want to cut, use Command X to cut a word or phrase or sentence,
Hmm.
it deletes that whole block.
This one has been, I
It was
hate this
it was
bug.
fixed for like a very short amount of time, but it's back,
Hmm.
baby.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I
Yeah.
use this. This is one of those, like, anything that's a key command is very much like a pro level user.
Oh,
Um,
I know. I'm trying to do select all, and that's not working anymore
Select
either.
all.
So,
Yeah, Command A.
yeah,
I know.
yeah,
So they don't get as much like visibility because they're a pro level feature. But I feel like Command X is a pretty common one. I feel like
yeah,
we should get on that one. This one is really annoying.
yeah.
That deletes the
They did
block.
fix it briefly, but it's back.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's one that drives me crazy because my fingers are faster than my brain sometimes,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm like, Command X, and I'm like, oh, I deleted the block again.
Hmm. I know. So in Command, is it Command Z? My fingers memorize
Undo.
these things.
Yeah.
Undo, and so you can
Mhm.
undo it to bring it back, but it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really with you.
But on the bright side, there is a lot of cool stuff in beta for Circle members, which I don't think we can talk about yet. But if you are listening to this and you are a Circle member, check the release notes. If you're not a Circle member, there are a ton of perks for you. So sign up at pros.squarespace.com.
Yeah, actually, that they have been improving that release beta area,
Yeah. Yeah.
to make it a lot better for releases, so they're not just kind of thrown upon you. You can test them out a little bit. So that's a great
Yeah.
place to check out. And then lastly, we have the wonderful web design summit coming on March 5th. If you have not signed up for that, highly recommend signing up. This is the summit Liz Ellery does every year. It's an online summit. It's a full day. A lot of great speakers, including myself and Christy. I'll be talking about, no surprise here, AI and coding. And Christy, what are you talking about?
Packaging your services as a web designer. And the thing that I love about this summit is it feels like you're hanging out with your friends all day because there are a lot of
Yeah,
live components. So it's really fun. Join us, and you can sign up at elizabethellery.com.
do it. Highly recommend it.
And it's
All right.
next week. March 5th is next week,
No, it's
isn't it?
not. Is it?
Isn't it?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I think you're
it's
right.
next week.
Wow.
I'm looking at my
Yeah,
calendar. Yes.
that's next week. All right, so sign up now. Sign up now. So
Snuck up on us.
we're going to talk about what makes us miserable and anxious in our job and some things we're doing. We do love our jobs. We should say that. I really love my job, but like anything, there's tasks and seasons where it can feel less great. And today we'll be talking about some of those challenges and how we handle them. But first, Christy, let's thank our wonderful sponsor, Breely.
Absolutely. If you run a service based business, you know the real grind is not the creative work, it is the constant admin, booking calls, rescheduling, chasing payments, and stitching together tools that only unlock the features you actually need once you upgrade. Breely flips that model. All the features are free from day one, including things most scheduling platforms paywall, like signatures, accepting payments, and email or SMS notifications. Breely adapts to how you work, whether you offer one on one appointments, workshops, classes, or multi day events. Clients can book and pay online anytime, and you get automation, contracts, forms, and a clean dashboard that keeps everything running smoothly. No more limited plans, no more blocked features, just a modern scheduling platform built by the team behind some of the best scheduling tools in the industry. Start for free at breely.com/useful. That's BREELY.com/useful.
Love us some Breely.
We do.
Good people over there.
And
We're gonna have
actually,
Gavin on next week,
yeah, the
next
founder
episode.
of Breely will be joining us in 2 weeks on our next episode, and we are gonna talk to him about how he has grown and sold platforms in the past and how he's growing Breely. He's a really cool guy. So come join us.
All right. So let's jump into the topic du jour. What makes business miserable? Well, I think this is a good place to start. We're going to talk about how some strategies, things we do to make it less miserable for us. Also, if you're joining live, please tell us in the comments like what you do. This is somewhat useful, please.
Yeah.
But I think the best place to start is what are specifically some of those activities in your business that you find miserable?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that as entrepreneurs, we all wear so many hats. Like a lot of us do everything ourselves. And there are things that we have to do that we don't necessarily love. Like for me, I know I can hand off bookkeeping, but it's not that big a task. It's just something that makes me miserable. So I just do it miserably. Every month I reconcile my books. Every 3 months I pay my sales tax, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's, those kinds of admin tasks, like we were just talking about, Breely solves a lot of that for scheduling. So, there are a lot of tools that do that automatically. So for me, it's a lot of the admin, but honestly, I'm going to be super vulnerable and honest right now and say that something that makes me miserable in my business is clients. I love them. I love them. And it's often through no fault of their own. So for example, I had a client book a 2-day website like in September of last year. Like that should be done in a month.
Yeah.
Done and dusted. And then, really sadly for them, they had a personal tragedy, which was awful. And then they were really sick. That was awful. And we kept having to move the project, which like no fault of their own. Right. And I obviously have things in my contract, fees around moving the project, but I'm not going to charge somebody a fee if they have a tragedy or they're in the hospital, like obviously.
Yeah.
But there's so much admin to update the contracts and the deadlines and send reminders and then move everything around in my calendar and make space for, like, this is taking up the space of probably 3 other projects I could have done.
Right.
Because I didn't book other things out because this one kept taking up space. So, I think I could hire somebody to manage that kind of thing, but I kind of need to be involved. So it just seems easier to do it myself. But, people are messy. People are messy.
People are messy. Right. So this is back to our AI discussion. Everything's better without people involved, Just kidding. I should be very clear here. I do not believe that. I believe the opposite of that.
We welcome our robot overlords.
Is there any type like this? That client isn't necessarily like it wasn't their fault, like you said.
No.
Like, is there a type of client that you find is more prone to this type of delaying than others?
Yeah, the human ones.
Oh, yeah. I've noticed them. Yeah.
No. I mean, like we said, people are messy. Life is messy. So like, I feel like I'm really good at catching red flags and yellow flags during discovery process. Like I've been doing this for decades at this point. Like I know a red flag or a yellow flag when I see it.
Yeah.
But even if it's like green flags all the way, you always know things are going to get interesting. Like some percentage of the time.
Yeah.
It's
not right.
It's just life does life, How about you, Will? What seems miserable about your business? And we're going to talk about how we handle these things, but let's do a little pity party here. Like I have clients, wah wah.
I've kind of shifted my language in writing my notes to more talk about like anxiety. The anxiety, how long I've been feeling anxious about like all the AI changes has turned into some level of misery. But you're right. Like as we're using that word misery out loud, it is kind of like, come on, just relax, people. Y'all work from home on your computers, like y'all are fine. But the AI thing has been a lot. And it's been a lot to keep up with. Like, what are all the different changes? What do I need to do? What's the new workflow? Like, how do I make this work with my business? Are the products I'm selling now going to be worth selling a year from now? So there's a lot of changes there. And I still have to keep up with all my current work. And so
Yeah.
I have this habit of taking on just like way too much, saying yes to way too many things.
Mhm.
Um, and then I'm up till like midnight multiple times a week trying to get all of my work done. Very self-inflicted. It's, on me.
Yeah.
But those are the things that make me miserable in my business, where when I'm feeling
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm having to do this because of some commitments I just said yes to for a non-strategic reason. I just like randomly said yes to it. And now I'm staying up till
Yeah.
midnight working on it. So
Mhm.
those are the things that really make me kind of miserable,
Mhm.
honestly, is I just getting more control over my time, I guess. That's kind of the solution
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you sort of a tangential question. So if you
Mhm.
said no to your clients,
Mhm.
and I just sort of shirked all my duties, we wouldn't have business. And
Right.
so we
Right.
could say no, but then we
Yeah.
wouldn't have business. And this is another thing that I have felt in my business that brings me a little misery and anxiety is
Mhm.
if the business isn't doing well. So
Yeah.
when you have a bad month in your
Mhm.
business, how does
Mhm.
that affect how you feel about yourself?
Oh, too much. Too much.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we've been doing this a long time. I know web design is a strangely seasonal business. I know there are
Mhm.
ups and downs, but I think that personally, I probably derive a little bit too much self-worth from the numbers in my
Mhm.
business.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. Like I want to feel like I'm doing a good job. Part of it too is that it's stressful, right? Like our lives all cost money. We all have budgets, we all have
Mhm.
responsibilities. And if you have a couple of slower months in a row, it can feel scary and it can
Yeah.
make you feel miserable. Um, and so then you have to like go back and it's like, okay, what are the sure things that can drive revenue for my business? Where do I need to be spending my time?
Mhm.
And figuring that out. But yeah, I think it probably affects me more than it should. Like overall, over the course of the year, if I'm keeping up with marketing and I'm doing the things I need to be doing, I know at the end of the year it's all gonna shake out, right? There
Right.
are highs and lows within that, but it's all gonna shake out, but it probably affects me too much. How about you?
Yeah, same. No, it affects me
Yeah.
a lot, and especially with, um, like, I'm looking at that revenue number.
Mhm.
You can look at it multiple times a day with, like, selling
Mhm.
plugins, and that's
Uh-huh.
the part that really is like, there's no need for that. There's no need for that. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
It's not good. But
Mhm.
it's almost like social media. Like, it's not good. It's
Yeah.
not healthy, but you can create these reasons that
Mhm.
you should, and they're legit reasons. Like if you're
Yeah.
on social media, you got to keep up with your friends or what's new in the industry. And if you're
Yeah.
looking at your sales all the time, like what if they stop randomly? That means maybe something is broken on your website. So you should be aware of that. So you can
Yeah.
come up with these reasons, but with the amount that it affects my mood, if it's like
Mhm.
even if it's a slow day or a slow couple days, like
Yeah.
that starts to affect my mood.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, it very much affects me way more than I'd like to admit. Do
So
you ever daydream about getting a job?
I was just about to
Yeah.
ask you, well, if a well-paying job, a
Mm,
stable job, let me do air quotes here, a real job
a real
showed up
job, yes.
tomorrow, would you take it?
I'm still trying to figure out the answer to this. I'm kind of honestly, I'm a little ashamed as to how much like I very much would consider it. Like I want
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
thought of as this like entrepreneur. And
There
all the
is
great
no shame.
entrepreneurs of like, Steve Jobs was never thinking about getting a job somewhere. You know what I mean? But yeah, I very much have thought about it. Like
Mhm.
I'm also aware I'm not Steve Jobs, and like everyone's got to live their own life and they have their own thing
You're a
going on.
lot nicer,
Right.
Will.
I'm a
A
lot
lot
nicer.
nicer.
I hope so. So I go through phases. Like there
Mhm.
are definitely phases where I'm like, I'm not enjoying the majority of my work and I would love a stable paycheck. But at the
Mhm.
same time, um, I'm not sure being at that job would solve any of the anxieties I feel, to be quite honest.
Yeah. It's interesting because my answer is a little different. and, ask me on a different day, get a different answer. But I think that my anxiety would be so much lower at a real job. Well, first of all, let me just say, we all know that those kinds of jobs aren't as stable as we think they are. There are layoffs all the time, right?
Correct.
So,
Right.
stability, yeah, short term, but long term, who knows? I've been laid off before. But
Yeah.
I will say that when I have worked in a corporate setting, I don't feel like it's all on me. Like, there's a less
Mm,
anxiety overall. Like, I'm gonna do
mhm.
my part, but maybe I care a little bit less because it's not my baby.
Right.
And there's,
Right.
like, this freedom that comes with that.
Yeah. Yeah, there really is.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah, and
also, I am a terrible employee, so no, I would not take a real
so you
job.
wouldn't hire you,
I
but you would
wouldn't.
love
No, I would not.
fair.
I like to do things the way I wanna do them on my timeline. This is why I am
Mhm.
an entrepreneur, Will. I am a
Well,
terrible employee.
so this is exactly how I feel though. This is what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Like if I went and worked for someone, I'm the same way. I want to do things on my timeline and the way I
Mhm.
know they need to get done.
Yeah.
I was the student in school that like understood the topics deeply because I studied it the way I learned, but got
Yeah.
like C's and B's because I don't care about showing that I know it. I just like knowing the content. And I'm the same way with my work. I just like there's
Uh-huh.
a way I know it needs to get done and I'm going to
Mhm.
do it that way.
Yeah.
But that means even if I had that job, I would
Mhm.
still, like, want to own all the work I had to do, and I'm still
Yeah.
not sure
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
able to, like, let go and detach even if I had a job. So that's my
Yeah.
concern with getting a job. I don't think it solved the problem for me.
We just take ourselves wherever we go, don't we?
We do. We do, unfortunately. Not the entrepreneur mask and the business mask. We're just the same person.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, let me ask you, and we're gonna get to, like, what are you doing to make business less miserable in a minute. But
sure.
before we do that, what is most fun in your business right now?
Mm. So, I love exploring different things, and I
Mhm.
really enjoyed that time setting up my OpenClaw.
Yeah.
Um, I would like sort of tinkering around with it, looking at like the root files of like how
Mhm.
it's structured and like how apps work on a desktop.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed tinkering. I should say I named my OpenClaw Daedalus. I think it's the
Yes.
Greek god which
Yes.
is the father of Icarus. So, I don't know what that means. That may mean something, but it's called Daedalus, and Daedalus just texted me because I've set it up on my phone. So you
Oh,
can
nice.
text with it, and it just texted me about a meeting I had in 30 minutes.
Oh,
Um,
well, let's
th
get this wrapped
there we
up.
go. I love it's no different than, like, a notification on your computer.
Yeah.
Um, but I really enjoy tinkering and, like, learning these new tools and
Mhm.
coding things that are out there. So, I really enjoy that. Anything that I'm building, teaching people, I really enjoy teaching this content,
Yeah.
and explaining it to people as long as they're enjoying it. I don't necessarily like
Yes.
boring people, but I love teaching to an active audience.
Mhm.
What about you? What do you enjoy? What's fun in your business?
Well, same, like, creating content and teaching things.
Mhm.
I love doing that. I think you and I would probably be educators in another life,
Yeah.
both of us, because we love learning things and sharing them. So yeah, for me, it's, creating YouTube tutorials, creating blogs, and it gets more fun and easier every year.
Mm.
And then this is something that I kind of started on a whim is my YouTube Growth Lab community. And that is
Yes.
so fun.
Yes.
You know how resistant I was to starting a membership for
Uh-huh.
years.
For
I've got
years.
documents
Yeah.
going back years and years about all these memberships that I was like, I should do this. No, I don't want to. I'm loving it. It's really, really fun. Like,
What
I-
what about it?
the
Like, what can you identify the things that you're like, I wasn't expecting this part to be fun.
I think the part that is most fun is that it's a bunch of people who have a common goal and we're supporting each
Mm.
other. So, I do a prompt
Mm.
every week, something you can do to kind of move things forward with YouTube. But the the thing that I love the most is seeing people support each other and
Yeah.
just like I watched your video. It's the little things like that. I think it's just I'm craving community right now, and so it
Yeah.
just makes me really happy.
I think a lot of people are great. I think that's a great you
Mhm.
should start, another community. You should start multiple communities.
Okay, I know, I know. I actually
You're already
am
thinking about it, aren't
I'm
you?
like this close to starting a community for web designers. And I've been thinking about how it would be structured. So yeah, stay tuned. I have a name, I have a logo even. Like it
Oh,
may be
you're
coming.
set.
Yeah, it may be
Would
coming.
you use School, Skool, right,
Mhm.
for your communities?
Yeah.
Would you use the
Yeah.
same what are your thoughts on School?
It's beautiful. I've been in so many communities on other platforms and they seemed bloated or there was just too much. School is very simple, very easy. It has the features I need and that's it. Like
So
it's just really easy.
I wanna take us on a quick little tangent here.
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah.
reading a book called Maintenance, and it's all about
Mhm.
just the maintenance of things. It's like the maintenance of a sailboat or a
Mhm.
car or, anything,
Yeah.
and what are the trade-offs in building something that needs a lot of maintenance versus not a lot of maintenance. And one
Yeah.
thing I really love about School and the
Mhm.
community platform is every time there's like a relevant thing you post, it immediately gets emailed to me. And
Yeah.
so I can see there's this you don't have to maintain this engagement in people's inbox. You don't have two separate things. It's post on School and
Right.
now send people an email. It's the posted
Right.
on School sends the people an email. So there's less to
Yeah.
maintain. And I
Yeah.
I really like that.
I love it. Yeah. It's such a cool platform.
It's a great feature. Well, okay. So what are you doing to make your business less miserable then? Let's sort of shift. I came up with like four little tips because people love numbers.
Ooh, yes.
But I like how would you distinguish between a job that, oh, this is a miserable job, I hate this, and oh, this is something I dislike, like what you said earlier, like the book keeping. Like this is a
Yeah.
miserable job, but I know I should do it, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this is such a great question. And in my mind, I try to put things in a Venn diagram because I'm a nerd. So
Yes,
one circle is fun. Like, is
love
this
it.
fun? Like, I love
Mhm.
doing this podcast with you. It's so much fun. Like,
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
actually make any money from it.
No,
Like,
we
thank you
don't.
to our
People
sponsors. You
th
pay
people
for
think we
all of
do. Thank
our
you.
software and our editing. We are so appreciative, but like we don't take any of that home.
No, we don't.
Um, but it's fun. And then the other circle is money. And
Yeah.
like clients, and we talked about how people are messy, but those clients, that money is a sure thing, right?
Yeah.
So for me, the magic happens when fun and money overlap.
Mm.
So YouTube AdSense for me is like fun and money. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. My YouTube Growth Lab, I'm not making much money, but there's a little bit there and it's
There's some
really fun. So, those things for me, when that Venn diagram between fun and money overlaps, that's where the magic happens. But,
mm,
sometimes that money part, you just have to do it, right? Because there's a mortgage and groceries and dog treats.
right.
And what I've tried to do to make business less miserable is if something doesn't fit in either of those circles, that's gonna be a no for me. And sometimes
Yeah.
that's really hard, but I'm thinking
Mm.
about our friend Risha who says a no is actually protecting your yes. So it's
Yeah.
basically freeing up time for something that is either fun or is gonna be, a money driver for my business. So sometimes you do have to do the miserable things like reconciling my accounts because that has to be correct for me to get money.
Gotta do
Um,
it.
Figuring out how to reply to a really uncomfortable email is difficult,
Yeah.
but AI has made that a lot easier. So sometimes you just have to do the miserable things, right? But for
Yeah.
me, it really is, did they fall into this Venn diagram?
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a really good Venn diagram. Fun
Thanks.
and money. It's
Yeah.
really
How
good.
about you, Will? What are you doing to make business less
That's
miserable?
miserable. So everything that I've sort of put together around this
Mhm,
is preventing myself from rushing, is like finding a
mhm.
way so I don't have to rush because it really is rushing. That's the
Yeah.
thing I hate. I really hate doing if it's like you got to do it now. Like the phrase I hate most out of any client is when they say, even jokingly, when you're like, so like when are you trying to get this thing launched is what I'll ask, right? And they go,
Yeah.
huh, ideally yesterday. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, it's today. So like, when do you want this launched?
That
Like,
ship has sailed, my friend.
that ship is not, we are not doing that. Like, think about this. Like, don't
Yeah.
just like throw something out. So I hate rushing. So everything I've tried to, when thinking about this, is around not rushing. So
Yeah.
it's really just arbitrary boundaries that
Mhm.
I've slowly been setting. Now, I'm terrible with these. Let me just be super clear. This is like an ideal will version, but these
Yeah.
are some things that I have at times interjected into my life, and I
Mhm.
have felt better. I have not built sort of the habit or the pattern around them that I would like to,
Mhm.
but I have felt better.
Mhm.
One is dramatically reducing social media usage.
I
Um,
think we can all benefit from
oh,
this. I am so guilty of getting stuck scrolling,
uh-huh.
and
Oh, it's
yeah, it's
It's
terrible.
horrible, and it really has come to a head this last, like, couple months. Like, one of the reasons I can really justify being on X or Twitter is
Uh-huh.
because that's where a lot of development knowledge is. A lot of
Mhm.
people who are talking about developing and coding and all that stuff is
Uh-huh.
talking about what they've learned on X. So I do learn a
Mhm.
ton from it. But in the last couple months, it's all been about how far behind everyone is, and AI is gonna take all your jobs, and we're all blah, it's all gonna be
The
gone in a
sky
year.
is falling.
It's like, okay, I don't believe any of that. I don't need
Yeah.
to inundate myself with it. So I've like
Yeah.
cut out a lot of social media and even Instagram. I haven't
Mhm.
been on Instagram much in the last couple weeks. And it's been, I think, really healthy for me. Um, Two, doing stuff outside my business. And this
Yes.
is something I just need to tell myself. I think I'm maybe more in the minority here, but I way too much do stay in my office and just pound through work like day after day. And
Mhm.
sometimes I don't even leave. Um, it's a real problem. Do you get outside? Just quick tangent. How often are you in your office there?
I work in my office, but I come to my office to work and then I leave it. And
Mhm.
I try not to do too much
Good
when
for
I'm not
you.
here. Like, sometimes in the morning, I will scroll on my phone and do some stuff early, like check
Me.
emails and post,
Mm.
but I do like I have 2 Labrador retrievers, so I have to go outside with them and throw the ball for them and, play with them.
Mm.
So that has built-in breaks during the day, which is really good for me. And
Yeah.
then I'm always trying to do something fun that's not work related. So for a while, Bayla and I were doing agility classes together, my chocolate
Together?
lab.
How
I mean, like,
fun.
yeah. So, but then I hurt my ankle, so we had to take a break. But
Mm.
now my husband and I are doing wine classes at night, learning about vinification and the
Wait,
Noble's
so what are you
grape
at?
varieties.
We WSET level 2? Are you at WSET level
3.
2?
We're
3?
taking the 3 class. Yeah.
Look at y'all.
Yeah.
How long is that one?
Forever.
Fair. I did WSET level 2, and, it was fun to drink some wine during the week, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I got bored, couldn't learn it.
I
Yeah.
think it's fascinating. Yeah, I love it. So, yeah, I totally agree. Doing stuff outside of your business, like learning things outside of my business or just movement, like getting out
Mhm.
and moving during the day is so important.
Yeah, yeah, I started to take piano classes. I love piano. Been playing it for years up until college and then stopped after
I
college, and so
am
I'm slowly getting back into it.
I am so excited to hear you play someday.
Won't be good.
I
Won't be
don't
good,
care.
but
It'll
I'll
be
play a
fun.
little bit. Another thing I've been trying to do, I was telling my wife Rendies this morning, and she died laughing when I said this one, but stop work at a certain time. She goes, "What? You can't no, you cannot tell people that. You do not do that. That's a lie."
But wouldn't it be
It's
great if you
kind of a
did?
lie, but wouldn't it be great if I did? The couple times I have done that, where I stopped at, like, 6 or 7, um,
Uh-huh.
it felt really good. Like, I want to be done in the evening and, like, not be
Yeah.
worried about what I have coming around the next day, or feel like I have to get all these other things done. So stopping at a certain time, and then the last thing is just I need big chunks of uninterrupted space. So I do these, like,
Mhm.
full days where I'm not scheduling meetings or anything, so I can actually get some work done.
I think that's a genius. I need to do that. Just block out days where it's like, this
Full
is a day
days.
where I get things done. Also,
Push a project
Andy
forward.
from Right Blogger just said hello in the chat. Hi,
Oh,
Andy. So happy
hello,
you're here.
Andy. Yeah, from Right Blogger.
Uh-huh.
You've been using Right Blogger a lot.
Such a great tool.
It
Yeah.
is a good
It's,
tool.
I use it a ton for YouTube descriptions and then turning YouTube videos into blog posts. Such a time
Mm,
saver. So,
mm.
hi, Andy, glad you're here. Um, Will, I think this has
Yes.
been really helpful to talk
Yeah.
about these boundaries that you're drawing. And I think for all of us, one way to make our businesses less miserable is to set boundaries, just like you said. There are
Mhm.
we and I think the beauty of it is we are all our own bosses, probably, who are
Mhm.
listening to this. So we know that there are some tasks that are miserable that we're just going to have to do, right?
Yeah.
But for the large majority of our businesses, we get to choose. We get to choose what time we work. We get to choose where we work. We get
Yeah.
to block off days to go deep dive on a topic. And I think that we need to take more advantage of being a kind boss to ourselves.
Mm. Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I
Yeah.
that's yeah, actually that's very well said. Very well said. I think I'm very
Thanks.
much very too hard on myself. I think for a lot of these things, where it's just like get done, get more, get more, get more. And I never talk to an employee that way.
No.
I don't
Be a
think.
good
I hope
boss.
not.
Yeah, good. I'm sure you
um,
don't. Well, this has been really fun, but I know we've got some lightning round questions that we're going to wrap up with really fast today
yes,
because, as OpenClaw told you, you have a
that's
meeting
right.
coming up. But before that, let's give another shout out to our sponsor, Breely.
So let's talk about Preely. If you run a service-based business, you already know the real work is not just the creative or the client delivery. It's the messy admin behind the scenes, booking calls, rescheduling, chasing payments, and stitching together tools that were never built to work the way that you do. Breely fixes that. It's a modern scheduling platform built by a team that has spent decades designing the best tools in the industry. Breely adapts to your business, whether you offer one on one sessions, workshops, multi day events, or anything in between. Clients can book with you and pay online anytime, and you get automated reminders, contracts, forms, and a full dashboard that keeps everything organized. No more duct taped workflows, no more reinventing how you schedule. Head to breely.com/useful. That's BREELY.com/useful.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Breely, for
Thank you,
sponsoring us.
Breely.
You are why we can pay for StreamYard to run the show.
Hey.
Okay, Will, super quick lightning round questions.
Yes, let's
What's
jump
what's
in.
something what's something fun you do most days?
Mm. Ooh, these days it's probably maybe playing a little piano, just tickling the keys a little bit.
Love
Yeah.
that.
What
Yeah,
about you?
playing with my dogs.
Oh,
100%
yeah.
brings me so much joy.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I love playing with Vivi, but you can't really play with her. She's a little old. She's like 16, so she can't
But
really
you
get
can
around.
put her in a little carrier and snuggle her.
Yeah, that's true. We do a lot. So we got a stroller. Finally got a dog stroller
Oh, I
and
cannot wait to see
strolling
this.
Vivi. I'll put it on
Love it.
Instagram at some
Yeah.
point. Um, 2, do you have a dedicated workspace or are you a couch gremlin?
No, I try to work in my office, and I think that gives me a little bit of separation between work and the rest of life. How about you?
Yeah, I'm the same. We're in a New York apartment, so not much space if we both work from home. So I'll have to be a couch gremlin if Ren needs the office for a phone call or we're just switching. But I typically like to work in here. I don't. It kills
Mhm.
my neck if I work on a couch. I just can't do it.
Yeah,
My back
we're
and my neck.
old. I know,
Mhm.
my back.
I know. I know. It's sad.
And Andy's like, "It's smart to use an office. I use the couch and never stop working. No separation." Okay, well, last question. What's one app or tool you would delete from existence?
Email. I would not let anyone email anymore.
How
Just
how when people
Nope.
get in touch with you?
Nope.
No,
Not allowed
just
to
no.
email. Not allowed to email.
No.
I was thinking about vibe coding an email app that it had to go through, every email had to go through a paywall, and you had to pay me 10 cents if you wanted to send me an email. Every email, it's like a postage stamp. You have to pay 10 cents to send me an email. Is it worth it? Is it worth 10 cents?
I love that. Oh my
Wouldn't it be
goodness,
fun?
Andy, let's delete the internet and call it a day.
Yeah, honestly,
There are
Andy,
days where I'm
there are
like, I
days.
think a horse and a carriage and a nice little garden plot are all I need.
Yeah, there are days. No internet, just back to horse and buggy, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
I would get rid of a phone that had apps on it so that I am not attached to a device all day. I would just have
Mm,
this for phone calls, and then everything else has to be when I'm sitting at a computer,
yeah,
which I
I
know I
really
can
like
do,
that.
right? But I'm so resistant to it.
I know.
Yeah.
I've wanted to get like the iPhone thin
The
or
brick.
Air, the
Yeah.
Air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to get that because I just want a smaller device, but
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm with you because I feel like there's something to like if a device is actually smaller, maybe you'll use it less, or maybe go back to a flip phone. I don't know.
My little tiny Nokia that I started with where it was like A, A, A,
Yes,
B, B, B.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Was it T9? Was that the
Oh, I
language
think
or whatever?
so.
Something.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Anyways, been a very fun episode chatting with you,
Yeah.
Christy.
You
Thanks to
too, Will.
everyone for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we thank you all so much for joining and listening. We hope you found this at least somewhat
Somewhat
useful.
useful. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. And if you really like us, leave us a nice 5-star review, as this really helps us grow the pod. And thanks again to our sponsor, Breely. Thanks to our audio engineer, Ricky Gunton. We'll see you all next time.
Thanks.